All right, so in my palette, I'm just gonna go with one of my favorite colors, which is my blue. And I'm just going to give a general outline for my flower. Don't worry if yours isn't perfect. I am just going really quickly. And I'm just drawing with my paintbrush right now, giving myself some outline. So notice that my paint, I don't have a whole lot of paint on my brush. So when you're using your brush today, I want you to kind of pretend that it's a pencil. And I'm giving myself some outlines to start with. This isn't really big. I'm gonna have some paint, other petals or different kinds of flowers next to this. If yours doesn't look just like mine, that's okay. It doesn't have to. But I'm giving it some, kind of whimsical curves. And again, what I'm doing is I'm using very little paint on my paintbrush. And then what I'm gonna be doing is applying some color. So now that I have some paint on my paper, my next step is I'm gonna start kind of filling it in. It is easy for somebody to take one color and paint it all in, right? You can paint inside the lines. You've all learned that when you were in kindergarten. But what I want you to be able to do is show many different colors in one. So take a look at my palette. My palette here, this is where I mix my colors, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add just a little bit of green in with my blue. And I'm gonna add just a little bit more color. Instead of just having a flower that is that blue that I first chose, I'm gonna pick a bunch of different colors. All cool colors that all have a little bit of blue in there. And I am using my paintbrush kind of like a pencil. And the best way to describe it is I'm tickling the paper with my paintbrush. Notice that there's not water dripping down my page. I don't have a giant puddle. It's just enough to be able to paint that area. So less water is the way to go with what we're doing. Precision painting means that you are paying attention to the fine details. All right, so what I want you to do is go ahead and use your paintbrush similar to a pencil, and I want you to give yourself some outlines. Now, I've given you a 4-petal flower. If you want to paint a flower, great. If you want to paint something different, great, but you got to have a picture to look at, okay? Remember, today is just practice. You're learning to control your paint. Less water is better. So right now, my colors are pretty watered down. They're not really, really deep and vibrant. So what I am doing is just getting down a base coat, or what some people might call a wash. And remember, I'm keeping all the areas around that dry.